Hi there, this is Tim with an Elite Dangerous video, and there's been the release of the non-premium beta today, which has various new options on the main menu here. Online, friends and private groups, report a player, options. Go into the options first, quick look at the graphics, and I'm not seeing an awful lot of new options. One of the things I did notice was that lens flare was on low by default. Not sure if that was something that I had set that way. Didn't notice anything in audio. Didn't really notice anything in controls either that was completely new. You'll have noticed that I've not been posting many videos lately, and that's actually because I've had my family in from England, and I also was kind of waiting for this version of the game to come out. And then lastly, I'm actually going in tomorrow morning for my second child to be born. Not myself, obviously, my wife. But yeah, so, you know, this life has its priorities, and that's why this is just basically a really quick look at you know, some of the main changes. You can see here the friends and group management. Now, I have a friend called Shrapnel. I'll not divulge his real name, but you can see he actually requested to add me as a friend. And obviously I can block him, or, you know, look for other friends, stuff like that. And then you know, you can block players, create groups, stuff like that, so that basically you can play single player against the AI, you can play online against everyone, or you can play just against a particular group of friends. And that's basically what this is. So I'm going to create a quick group here, and not really sure what allow quick join is, but there we go. You know, maybe there's some email approval process or something that you've got to do it with. But anyway, I've essentially added myself to a group here, just to kind of see how things look, and you can see it's listing me as offline, which is correct. You know, I haven't connected to actually play yet, and you know, that seems to make sense. And here you can see, you know, you can search through groups, you can see your friends. You have options to unfriend, block, etc. So just going to go to online here, and then you'll see there's open play, which I assume is the fully online, private group, solo, and just have a quick look at the stats, which were completely reset. Oh no, that's interesting. My stats do not appear to have been reset with the last wipe. But I bet they are the first time I load it. So that's what I'm doing now, going into the solo. And let's see, I'm going to go through. They've obviously done a lot of bug fixing and everything, but as far as like new features, they have added the Viper ship. They've added the Imperial fighter as AI only. They've added a Lacon Type 6, they've added new paint jobs for all of the ships, they've added missions, which is just huge. You know, that adds to the scope of the game in so many ways. And they've added new bounties and fines, and obviously those are kind of handled in new options in the menus, kind of local security offices. They've expanded the playable bubble, which was you know, just a few systems really, to 21 light years, and I think it's 50 or 55 systems that are now playable. So effectively, Elite Dangerous, for me anyway, is a fully fledged game now. You know, there's really not much of a separation really between you know, this and the final game for me. You know, a lot of the UI kind of hasn't changed here. You can see on this on this left side. So just actually waiting until I looked in the middle. There we go. The main scanner system kind of seems all the same. which absolutely fine with, obviously. And over on the right here you can see a fuel indicator right below the signal kind of readout. You can see the fuel indicator, then mass locked, landing gear, cargo scoop. And obviously, you know, when you're just flying through space doing the same thing, you know, you shouldn't really be using a lot of fuel. Most of the other things have remained the same, with the exception that I think you now start with 2 loaned lasers instead of just the one in the Sidewinder. You know, for me that kind of makes the Sidewinder quite an effective ship to start off in. You know, very, very effective. Yeah, so let's find this station, and obviously kind of starting off in same old system you would normally start off in, and there's actually some light indicators now on the corners of the station, and I think it's red for the wrong side of the station and blue for the right side of the station, so I'm just going to fly towards the wrong side and just give you a good look at that. Anyway, back to the list of new features. They have... Okay, I was down to them adding way more systems, which in my opinion makes it a fully viable and playable game now. You know, 50 systems is a really good amount to especially have a single player, you know, scenario. With human players, I expect them to still kind of congregate about, you know, certain areas that are more profitable, less, you know, versus less profitable and interesting areas. Trade route visualization has been added to the Galaxy map, which I will show you later. System connections based on fuel has been added to the Galaxy map, which I will try to show you later. Updated the trade commodities, not sure what they mean there. The hauler has updated art. There are new pilot animations, one of which you saw when I was first showing you the fuel readout. You know, the pilot just kind of flexed his glove, kind of, and you know, that's what they mean there. Large plasma accelerator, which is a weapon, has been added. The Eagle has had some new art passes and updates, and the Sidewinder has had some art passes and updates. And I personally feel I can really tell the textures are nice and sharp. You know, things look good. You know, this looks like a ship that they've just added to the game. It looks real sharp. Well, on my system anyway. You can see here coming into dock, and bear in mind that I am actually on solo play, so all of the ships that you're seeing on the radar are actually AI ships. So you know, this is huge. You know, they've not just kind of added some things to their game, they've actually given you single player. You know, they've given you different modes of multiplayer. This is a huge update. And you know, this here, you can see it's actually a Lakon Type 9, which is a huge cargo ship, which is actually in the process of docking. And you know, I'm just going to come into the station here and kind of have a good look at him trying to dock. Another couple of things that they've added is text chat between players and voice chat between players. Haven't yet had a chance to test that out. Docking computer has been added, which I assume is some form of an upgrade that you can buy. Haven't had a chance to look at that yet. Fuel consumption has been added, which, you know, that's something that I'm used to from previous Elite games. It really makes you kind of think about where you're going, and you have to factor it into any like trading runs that you do. You know, is it really profitable, bearing in mind the fuel usage, everything like that, really. So there is the Lakon docks on its huge landing pad. I now head to my little tiny one here, landing pad 14, and let's see. They've added random events to the current interdiction functionality. Random locations will now be spawned in front of the player while in Super Cruise. So basically, they've just refined the way that the interdiction works, and you know, those events are probably going to going to vary a little bit more. So now I'm successfully docked, and you can see the stations actually have a lot of different kind of atmospheric looks. They really look a lot cooler now. It actually looks like it should in space. And here you can see on the contacts menu I've actually selected a Viper. So at the bottom left of the screen or thereabouts you can see the 3D shape of the Viper there. But going into the Starport services, just going to take you through the menus. Some of these are new or newly named. Obviously, this menu isn't a new one, but they've added fuel to the name of the menu. So now you have fuel and munitions, and you go into the fuel store and you can buy 0.03 of a ton for a credit, and that's your ammunition is under munitions. Bulletin board. Now this is something from old Elite players will obviously remember. You have various jobs available. This one is a cargo run. You can take 7 units of cargo from one place to another, and as long as you do it within 6 hours and 17 minutes, then you've made 6,854 credits, which is a nice tidy sum. And for me personally, that's great. It takes out a lot of the guesswork on cargo runs. I can still make really good profit running cargo. And that one, I think, was an assassination of some sort. This one is where you can go and fight in Erenin, which is where I've played in previous ones, and it's basically telling you that if you go there and you kill more than 3 or more than 5 within a certain amount of time, then you'll get an extra bonus on top of the combat bonds or whatever you would expect to get in those areas. So that's great. That's that really kind of fills up the options, the gameplay options for this game. Here, the trading menu hasn't really changed that much, which is fine. It worked perfect. This is where you can clear your criminal record or any bounties. That's actually a new menu there, the local security office, I believe. Outfitting, largely the same. Looks like they've changed the animations quite a bit though. You'll notice right at the bottom there's an option for a paint job, which is a new feature. You can change how your ship looks. Why anybody would choose any paint job except from black, I don't really know, because obviously if you're in silent running, when someone can't pick you up on the radar, you're going to be a lot less visible in space if your ship is black. And I would like a flat black, please. And basically that's something that I would be interested in. Looks like the ship prices have changed because the Eagle is only 12,000 credits. So yeah, that's interesting too. So anyway, going to go into the galaxy map now, which obviously has some changes that are really quite interesting. It's just zooming into my current location here, which is Erenin, and you can see kind of like the transport paths between. You can see a line going between some of these locations, and just basically gives you an outline of how to get from between some of the systems. And you can see the circle there that I'm roughly kind of marking with the mouse pointer. That's now the playable area. So this is a lot of systems you can now run around in, and with the amount of players that are currently playing the game, I think online you shouldn't be running into that many human players that that it's unplayable or anything. And just going here to look at Sol, which is our own star here, our sun. Just for a quick look. It's 43.1 light years away, and when you consider that the bubble which we now have access to is half of that, we actually have 21 light years in our current playable bubble with the new beta. We're actually halfway to Earth, so that's very, very cool. You know, you can see based on you know, the cargo mass there, when you slide that back and forth, you know, you can see you know, how that changes the transport routes. Now here you can see there's a new trade option on the view menu, and when you select to show those, you actually have color coded information based on what cargo is you know, going in what direction. So you know, when you have them all selected as they currently are, the one which is showing is obviously the most you know, the most transported good or goods in that direction. So you know, going down to LFT, I think it's 880 at the bottom. You know, you can see the red going down there, which is actually minerals. You know, it's really quite interesting, and you can select by individual metal types, so that just basically you know what direction something is going in. You know, it's not going to tell you how profitable it is, but if you're out there and you're like me, you know, you're not really a trader, you're going to know what you might want to take. You know, if you are transporting something and you have a few units of cargo left over, you can look at the map quickly and you can say, yeah, I'll just fill it up with a few minerals, and then I'll make make a little bit of money. And you know, that's really perfect, because you know, this is supposed to be the you know, 33rd century or 34th century, somewhere around there. The chances that they wouldn't have that kind of technology are pretty damn slim, really. So here I'm going to undock, and just another reminder, everything that you are seeing on this video is an NPC. So you can see there's actually a wanted pirate who's coming into dock. So if I wanted to, I could kind of hang around and wait for them to undock. I could wait until they get outside of the no-fire zone, and then I can take them out and claim their bounty. Out here you can see you know, a rather big ship, which is a Lakon Type 9, which I've only ever been inside of. I've never kind of flown that close to it when I've been in Sidewinder. So yeah, that actually looks a bit bigger than I thought it did. Now here I'm going to try to find a Viper, so that you know, you can have a quick look at the outside of the ship, because I don't really have time to do an extensive video tonight. But the blip which is directly in front of me on the radar will be a Viper, so keep an eye on it as I fly towards it, and you will get a look at the outside of a Viper. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to go back to the list of new features. Let's see. I was down to random events during interdictions, and that they're now spawned in front of the player while in Super Cruise. So basically, you know, you can go into whatever type of environment that you know, it might not be that you'll go in there and they only start fighting after you've jumped in. They might already be fighting, you know, when you get there, which should make things look a lot more realistic. The chaff launcher stops scans and confuses tracking weapons, but doesn't affect missiles. So basically they've just made the chaff launcher work as it should. The AI now smuggle goods. That's quite interesting. They've added beacons and associated traffic. So basically, everything that you're seeing in and around the station, people transporting goods, things like that. That's something that they've added, and obviously the beacons, the different coloured lights, are something that I mentioned earlier. They've added support for the friends management that I showed you. They've made matchmaking so that I can play with my friend Shrapnel. They've Super Cruise supports multiplayer, so basically that's a good thing, I guess. I don't know what that actually means. Gas Giant features are derived from Stellar Forge data. Not sure what that means. They've added new station variants, which that station I was just in looked a lot different to how it looked in the previous version. To me, it looked a lot more dark, it looked a lot more realistic. I can't say that I know what a station should look like, but to me, that looked great. They've done art updates for the new Orbis station. Audio updates and a balance pass, something that you can hear as I'm flying around right now. They've added rich station interior variants, so basically I think inside the Orbis station you might see some really cool stuff right now, and I'll try to get that on a future update. Here's a good look at the star here, and I will see you sometime after my daughter is born. Okay, thanks for looking. Bye.